and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. Today we've got Betsy McAllister with us, who is our STEM teacher specialist. So welcome to HCS Connects.
Oh, well, thank you. It's always great to be here, Kelly.
I was going to say, you're not new to HCS Connects, so nothing to be nervous about. You've been a guest over the years several times. So we appreciate you being a guest yet again, tongue twister. So I introduced you to the audience as our STEM teacher specialist, but your title is much longer than that. So tell us what your true title is.
Yeah, well, I'm the, as you said, I'm the Hampton City Schools STEM teacher specialist, but Hampton and the city of Hampton and Hampton City Schools has a wonderful arrangement with the National Institute of Aerospace where they fund an educator in residence position. So I've been serving in that capacity as an educator in residence at the National Institute of Aerospace for a number of years, and just is an awesome way for me to develop skills and or whoever's in that position to really develop skills and to bring in outside resources, particularly NASA and NASA Eclipse resources into our school division and make connections that are, ultimately are beneficial to teachers and students in our division.
Which you've done a great job at that because we have lots of great partners because of you. We also are bringing those resources into the schools and for our teachers and our students. Lots of things that we've seen going on just this school year alone. So let's talk about a few of those. Like, for example, we just had a huge community day. Tell us about this community day. It was a Hampton City Schools community day hosted by Newport News, the city of Newport News, correct?
It was, it's a regional STEM event, and Hampton City Schools has been, one of the primary partners from day one. This was our third year hosting this event, and we've held it for the last 3 years at Brooks Crossing Innovation and Opportunity Center to try to bring some recognition and opportunity to that growing organization. And it is for all of the families in Region 2. It's a free event. Again, this was our third year hosting it. We've had a number of great partners, Hampton City Schools being a leader in that, the Coastal Virginia STEM Network, and the City of Newport News have been incredible partners, as well as ODU. So we've just had a number of great people that have pulled together to make this event a really wonderful event. It's free, it's open to families, it's open to people of all ages. We pulled in, we had we weren't so lucky with weather this year. We had a torrential rain, but we still pulled in over 700, probably 730 folks from across the region came in. We brought in folks from, even the Eastern Shore, and 47 plus exhibitors who did hands-on and activities with kids of all ages. I was really excited this year that we had 3 of our academies that participated and exhibited. That was Renita Bostick came. This was her third year bringing the Kicquatan High School Governor STEM Academy for Architecture, Engineering, and Environment to exhibit. We also had Alex Mentor with Bethel High School's Trail Academy. This was his second year. And then Margaret Nettles came this year with the ATEL Academy of Teaching, Education, and Learning, and did some wonderful activities with our younger students. So I was really happy to see, that involvement there. And so we hope to continue to grow it. We'd like to move it regionally, but for the last couple of years, as we've kind of gotten on our feet, we've stayed in the same location. So it was a wonderful event. Had more Hampton City Schools families than anybody at the event, and that always makes my heart feel good. And a lot of that is thanks to you and helping us get the word out.
Well, and that is exciting because, well, thank you. But, that was mid-October, like October 14th, I believe was the date of that. And the weather that day truly was not on your side.
Yes.
It was cold, it was windy, torrential downpours for hours. So to have 750 plus still attend, that's success.
We were excited about that, and the feedback that we've gotten has been very positive from our exhibitors, from our volunteers, and also from the community. So we really look forward to taking any information that we can and improving on the event, and we're already planning for next year.
Well, and another event that you just had, since we're talking about torrential downpour, was the Day Without Water. October 14th was not the Day Without Water.
Right, no, it wasn't.
But there is a celebration, or not a celebration, a recognition of the Day Without Water. Explain that to us and what some of our students and teachers do.
The American Water Alliance has every October 19th is Imagine a Day Without Water.
Imagine a Day Without Water. That's what it is.
Yeah. And so
5 days after the torrential downpour.
Exactly. That was funny. I'm a master gardener and was working with Pam Hennepin, who is a former Hampton City School parent and has been very instrumental in the Hampton Council of PTAs and also on our HEF Foundation. And Pam is a master gardener along with me, and recently completed a water steward training, and she wanted to do something that would benefit the schools. And so we put our heads together and talked and decided to work with Phillips Elementary School, fifth grade teachers. The Phillips Elementary fifth grade team is phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
Angela Dandridge, Whitney Davis, and Jennifer Gomez are just tremendous. And so what we did was Pam and I went in and did a couple of activities with the students just to try to help them think through some of the ways that we go through our lives and use water and how important that resource is, also tied in with their study of natural resources. And you know, it was, the kids were right on top of it, just, oh, this is how we use it, this is how, this is why it's important. And then we took it a little deeper and we talked about some of the indirect ways that we use water, like, that processing the cotton to make a single pair of jeans, is like 1,800 gallons of water.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, just some ways that they might not ordinarily think of water being used. Pam got a donation of journals, one for every student, and the students took several days and kept a water journal and looked at their water use over certain categories, whether it was the amount they drank, the amount that was used for washing clothes,
showers, brushing your teeth,
exactly,
flushing a toilet.
Exactly. And so they looked at that and, kind of compared that with, how much is, most people use on an average every day. And that can be anywhere between, 100 to 175 gallons, depending on where you live. And of course, in the United States, we use more than anybody.
I can't
imagine. But I think it was very eye-opening for the kids. Then Pam and her husband, Ted, graciously donated some funds to enable the students to go over to the SWIFT Research Center. SWIFT is Sustainable Water Initiatives for Tomorrow. And the students got a tour of the facility and worked with the educators over at SWIFT and participated in an engineering design challenge where they developed water filtration systems and looked to see, they tested the water after they finished with their water filtration system to look at the pH and turbidity and other things. And so it was a really, I think, a great opportunity for them to learn about water in a little bit deeper fashion than they might have otherwise, and it certainly tied in with what they were already studying. So it was a great opportunity.
Well, and how impactful, okay, so my oldest is going to be 20 soon. He's in college. And truly, when he left to go back to school this year, my husband took a screenshot of what our water bill was when he was with us this summer. He took a screenshot of what our water bill was after he left and sent both to them. And he even circled it in red and said, this summer when DJ was here, and this now that DJ's
He's
gone.
not here.
And next year he'll be in his own place with some roommates, so we'll have to pay his own water bill. So he was trying to, so how impactful for our fifth graders to learn those, start understanding that, because it's more like, than you said, than just taking a shower, brushing your teeth, flushing a toilet. It is, I learned from you just about making a single pair of jeans, like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's about choices that we make and helping our students understand that they need to be stewards. And so, do I take a shower, which is going to use less water, than a bath, which is going to use more? Can I turn off the water when I brush my teeth? When I'm not actively rinsing my brush. So just simple things like that can have a tremendous impact. And we are so fortunate where we are that, we, for the most part, don't have to worry about
Right.
water, but it is going to become an issue, and it is something that we really need to think about.
Well, and all jokes aside, if you have an extra water journal, I might have to borrow that for a 20-year-old opposed
Yes.
to a 5th grader.
We can hook you up.
So again, second really cool opportunity for students.
Yeah.
But whenever I think of Betsy McAllister, I think of oysters. I really do. So tell me, what are some of the different things that have been going on in regards to the oyster gardening with our
Yeah.
students and our teachers?
Yeah, well, a lot of great stuff has been happening over the past year. We've been able to pull in some of the academies to help us with our work. But essentially, each year I do a training I pull in some of our partners, the Tidewater Oyster Gardening Association and Shored Up. And they work with me on developing a comprehensive training for teachers on how to take care of oysters, how to use those oysters in the classroom for instruction. And over the last year, we've pulled in some other pieces to the puzzle. We pulled in Connor Dunn and the Maritime Academy over in Hampton. One of the things that they did last year for their problem-based or project-based learning was, looking at sustainably creating an environment on, like a floating city, basically. And they only started the first piece of that. But part of that was, raising oysters. You could look at it for food,
Right.
As a source of food, but also for water quality. And so Connor and his students built probably, I think it was 20 cages last year, oyster floats that were donated to the Tidewater Oyster Gardening Association. They donated the materials. Connor's students built those. They donated them back to Tidewater Oyster Gardening Association, and they sold those at their annual float sale. And they donated money back to the academy. So it's been a great opportunity. Great opportunity for them to learn. And the kids just, they were amazing. They listened. They, just did a fantastic job. And I think that, one of the things to me that's so powerful and impactful about this kind of work is helping our kids understand, our students understand that, their actions do make a difference. Sometimes when we talk about environmental education, it can be very gloomy and doomy. And I want kids to understand that they can make an impact, and individually, and then when we pull together as a group, how impactful it can be. So this summer, we worked with I pulled in some partners and worked with the floating classroom, and the floating classroom built cages as well, and those also were donated to Tidewater Oyster Gardening Association, and they sold all of those. They sold all of the floats that Hampton City Schools had made at their fall float sale, so they were very appreciative of that. The Academies of Hampton now has oysters, 4,000 oysters that they're raising downtown in the water near the boat. And so that was a wonderful experience, I think, as well. Right now, I think we have 21 teachers that are raising oysters. I think it's 12 different schools, including the Flex program at Hampton.
That's elementary and middle, correct?
And high school.
And high school.
Yeah, we've got them all through the way. We've got kindergartners that are raising oysters. So
That's
it's
awesome.
just, it's very powerful. I think this year we've got 6,000 oysters. At the end of this year, it'll probably be about 150,000 oysters that Hampton City Schools alone has raised and put in local waterways. So we really are having an impact and helping students. It's really service learning and helping students understand that they can have an impact on this community. We all hope they will come back and live in, after they graduate.
And the oyster piece, I mean, even though that's quite impactful and really has spread amongst our elementary, middle, and high school teachers and students, that's just one part. You're talking about, stewardship and education. Our clean City Commission, they're doing things in our schools, and a few of our teachers just received awards, correct?
Right, absolutely. The Hampton Clean City Commission has a subcommittee called the School Pride and Action Committee. I've been a part of that committee probably for 20 years, ever since I started in Hampton, and it consists of a representative from each of our schools, and we all work together to develop environmental education activities and programs, for our students, and then for the whole division as well. So there are any number of things that we've that we work on. We are always involved in Earth Day activities. Last year, we kind of resurrected an Earth Day art contest that all the students in Hampton City Schools can participate in. We had it was very popular before COVID, but we kind of lost it during COVID. So we actually Alt Green with Hampton High School really put some effort into bringing that back, and that was a wonderful experience last year. We're also reinvigorating recycling in our schools. Got lost in the COVID period. So I've been working with Hampton Public Works, and they've graciously piloted with us a number of schools each year. They donate the large rolling gray toters that can be used, and then we're working with individual schools to receive grants to purchase classroom bins. So recycling has been a big thing that we've worked on. We've also worked on school gardens. Tiara Kersey at Lindsay has started an amazing school garden and that she's working on with her students. Michelle Farrell at Kilgore has a fantastic certified schoolyard wildlife habitat. So we're really trying to work on those kinds of things as well. And then a number of those folks also work on oyster restoration. Missy Riedel Powell at Burbank, she's a kindergarten teacher, and her students do some of the most amazing things. They compost, waste from the cafeteria. They are just involved on the ground doing everything. So this past Saturday, we had a number of schools that were recognized and a number of teachers. Missy Riedel Powell was recognized for her efforts with Burbank, and she was recognized last year as well. Burbank, the school, because of her efforts, was recognized. Jones Magnet Middle School, Cheryl McLaughlin and her Ecology Club, and some of the efforts that she's been doing, so they were recognized, and she individually was recognized. Ashley Alt Green at Hampton High School was recognized as an innovative educator, and Hampton High School was recognized. Marty Wood from your department was recognized for all the efforts that she's had, in supporting the Hampton Clean City Commission. So, it's been, it really was a fantastic opportunity to recognize some of the folks that are really doing some things innovative outside of the regular school day with their students.
So as we wrap up, because we could just keep going. There's so many things. Let's get back to the NASA piece real quick. And is it Eclipse? Am I correct on that?
Yeah. So as an educator in residence at the National Institute of Aerospace, I work with a NASA project called NASA Eclipse. And that program is devoted to creating resources through the lens of NASA that involve a NASA subject matter expert. And those are videos, those are, they're all short on all grade levels. They're also career-oriented videos, and they're also different kinds of investigations, educator guides, and then shorter versions of those that can be done at outreach. So very involved with that project and working on that, disseminating that, and getting that into the hands of teachers. And, I've worked pretty closely with Kate Maxlow and Dr. Caggiano and the science department to get that embedded into Hampton City Schools science curriculum, because it's such a wonderful, wonderful resource.
Excellent. So anything else can you think of that we might be missing in the world of science?
Well, I think one of the things that I'm really excited about is GLOBE and our involvement in GLOBE and working that into.
What is that? Make sure we know.
GLOBE stands for Global Learning and Observations to Benefit the Environment. And it is a project that is supported by NASA, but it also is supported by the National Science Foundation, NOAA, the State Department, and involves 127 different countries. But my focus is here with Hampton City Schools. And so in 2017 or 2018, I started trying to bring in GLOBE into our school division. We had a clouds training, where any science teacher or any teacher that wanted to participate could come in, and brought in NASA trainers. And the neat thing about GLOBE is that it is engaging students in real world science, where they serve as citizen scientists and they collect meaningful real world data that is submitted to NASA. So their research has a huge impact. So students were out collecting data on clouds, sending those observations in. NASA collects that data from satellites, so it's taking a downward look. Our students were doing the ground truthing, is what we call it, from Earth, looking up, and then NASA sends back to them a notification saying, we got your data, and this is what we saw, and it either matched or it didn't match, and it could be any number of reasons, but it's really cool. And then we've worked with, incorporated GLOBE into the third grade curriculum. The third grade teachers, who are phenomenal, are integrating an earth system module. They just finished that in the first 9 weeks, and a soil module in the second 9 weeks. And we had a couple of teachers that participated in a training this summer where they got a stipend. They worked with the GLOBE educators, the key GLOBE educators in the nation. And in addition to the NASA Eclipse team that I work on, they got instrument shelters to put on the school grounds, all the instrumentation that they need to collect that data. And so we're working to try to increase those opportunities within Hampton City Schools. So that's just another thing that's going on that I'm pretty excited about.
That is exciting. Yeah. And it speaks to what we keep saying about those hands-on experience, that innovation, that rigor, because science scores, those were a little bit down a couple years ago.
Right.
We've worked, and they came up this year. We're continuing to work with those fifth grade science kits with our curriculum leaders and Hampton City Schools as well. So all of it just comes together and makes that impact.
Yeah, so hopefully that's what we're hoping, and great opportunities for our students.
And our teachers too. I mean, what an opportunity for a teacher. So, well, thank you for being here today, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your world. It was just a little, like I said, we could probably sit here and talk for hours, because there's so many exciting things going on with our teachers and our students in the world of science. But Betsy, thank you for being here.
It's always a pleasure, and I really appreciate all that you do and all that our teachers do on behalf of students every day here in Hampton City Schools.
We've got an amazing team.
Yep, we do.
And thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. Remember, it's easy to stay connected.